Will Leeds United get promoted? That is the question. Me and Jer from Leeds United The View are discussing everything today, from the final table predictions to the predictions for our last 8 games. Without further ado, let's get into this. So, Jer, the international break is now done. Leeds United play again this weekend. How are you feeling for these last 8 games for Leeds United? Are you confident, or are you one of these fans at the moment who is starting to let the worry sort of sink in? We've seen this script before. Whereabouts do you stand?
I think the anxiety is understandable considering our history and we know what we're like. I think also with the situation last season, we came out of the international break last year sitting top of the pile as well, and then just the fatigue of chasing 2 teams all season kicked in and we fell away. So I think all of that's the context around why the anxiety of the fan base is. There are certain portions of the fan base. I think we're very split. You've got one section who are super confident we are going up as champions regardless. And then there's the other side of it who are just a little bit more like, well, there's still a lot of games we played. There's still a lot of points there. And we've probably got the worst form guide of the last 5 games compared to our promotion rivals. So all of that kind of just fuels it. But I think I'm okay with it. I would hope at some point your luck's got to turn, and maybe it's our turn this time around. It's in our hands. Right now, it's in our hands. I think people are a bit nervous about losing the gap, but my point for weeks has been that's the point of a gap, isn't it? That if you have a little wobble, you've got a cushion there, and we're still top of the table right now, and that's a positive. And as long as we do what we have to do between now and the end of the season, we should stay top of the league. But that's on paper, and football's not played on paper. There's a lot of other ground to cover. But I think if I look at the games and look at what Sheffield United and Burnley have coming up, again, on paper, Leeds have the easier of the run-in, but I think the next 3 games for Leeds will be key. Get past those 3 games and they get a little bit easier again coming into the last 5-6 games of the season as well there. So, yeah, I'm okay with it right now. I still think it's there for us. And I don't know, I had a feeling a couple of months ago that it felt like there was a rhythm to Leeds, and I know we've had a wobble. But I think maybe we've had the wobble at the right time, and the international break came at the right time, and now we've got a chance to come out of it and push forward. So, yeah, I'm confident enough still, Ollie.
What's different this year to you? What's made you more confident this year? Is it maybe the teams around us? We don't have the likes of the Leicester and the Ipswich and the Southampton around us, or is it just the fact that you feel more confident with this side?
I think the fact that we're not chasing, it's a different kind of pressure. Chasing pressure is you have to win every single game. So even if you're drawn with a team coming into the last 10 minutes of a game, it all of a sudden has to become frantic because you need to win that game to close that gap. You can't afford to drop any points along the way. Whereas this year, it's a different type of pressure, being chased and trying to motivate a team to stay top of the league and stay interested when complacency can kick in at these times where you think, oh, we're playing great, we're hammering teams, and then the wobble happened. So I think that coincided perfectly with that. But I think I've looked at moments this year, especially before the wobble, just seeing how close this group is, seeing the huddles on the pitch. It's not for effect as far as I'm concerned. The manager hasn't even been in all of them, but it really shows me this group of players are very much together on this and are doing their best and fighting as hard as they can to get us over the line. And I think they've done a fine job of it so far this season, considering the slow start to the season as well. And since we've got to the top of the league, we haven't been knocked off it. So that's a change from last year as well. And there's goals coming from elsewhere. We found ways to win games, which has been a problem before the season. Or the QPR game, we found ways to come back in and get a point in that game, where last year we suffered a very heavy defeat down there. So, yeah, if you look at the fixtures coming up, the 6 teams that we're playing, the 8 teams that we're playing, we haven't lost to them this year as well. So, again, there's some form there. There's a couple of potential banana skins in there. I think Bristol City, Middlesbrough, Luton, and kind of the Oxford one is the one that just scares the crap out of me because it's Oxford. We used to go down there cakewalking, and it's just not gonna. It's gonna be Huddersfield away like last year. So it's there in the back of your head. But I just think they're a closer group. But I like that they've found different ways to be effective this year, and I think that's important coming into the run. And I think the pressure will catch up on Burnley and Sheffield United as well. It's whether Leeds can just hold their nerve at this point and not let the pressure affect them.
I think we said it at the start of the year. I think I might have been chatting to you when I said this, but I think the only people that are going to stop Leeds winning the league will be Leeds. And that's always sort of been the case with this Leeds United side. And we're talking to the teams we've got to play in the last 8 games. Would you have been more confident playing the likes of Sheffield United and Burnley and things like that? Because we've seen these big games, we've doubled Sheffield United. If you look last year, we doubled Leicester, we doubled Ipswich. It's the teams that are at the bottom that actually we should be beating. And a lot of, neutral fans comment on my videos after, say we haven't beat them, especially the Portsmouth games. A lot of these, Portsmouth fans saying you're quite entitled. Why should you beat Portsmouth?
Yeah,
And
they're right.
And they're completely right. I kind of look back and go, you're completely right. We've got no rights that we should be beating you. You beat us. You're better on the day. Would you have been more confident maybe playing the likes of the teams around us? Or do you think this time round Leeds aren't going to have that sort of QPR effect that they did last year?
I think you're damned if you do and damned if you don't with this, because look at last year with Southampton in the last 3 games of the season that really, well, we went into the Southampton game knowing a win. If results had gone our way, we would have got promoted. But also if we'd beaten them during the year as well, we got hammered by them. Like, so
Yeah.
it wasn't always, but the Leicester ones were fine, but you're trying to reduce the gap there. And there was just a different level of what's the word I'm looking for here? Just a different approach to those games.
Yeah.
This year it's been different. Like we but ironically, we, beat Sunderland, beat Sheffield United away at Sheffield United, and then we draw at West Brom, lose to Portsmouth, beat Millwall, and then draw with QPR. So it's pretty much the same as last year. There's a lot of similarities there as well. QPR game was an important one for me because 2-0 down after half an hour. It was one of the games I wasn't doing a watch along on, and I was up at the Game of Thrones studios up towards Belfast with my partner doing a tour of that. And I looked at my phone after 15 minutes and saw 1-0 down. And I just out loud was like, that's what happens when you don't play Groove in the centre park away from home. We concede early goals, which we have every time he hasn't played. We've conceded early goals. I'm generalizing, but you know what I mean. And then you see 2-0 down after half an hour. I think my exact words were to Jess were, yep, that's that. We're done. I can enjoy the rest of this. And I'm not even going to look at my phone. And then I looked at it again about an hour later and saw 2-1. Oh, hang on a second. And then 2-2. And that's a big difference from last year for me. I think that game was important to kind of show that there's a bit of character and resilience with this team. They were accused of a lot of things towards the back end of last season. I think they've shown already at moments this season that's not there anymore, but you just want them to come out at the international break with a bit of confidence and a bit of a swagger, and the Swansea game will be massive in that, because if they can get a positive result against Swansea and a good performance, that brings you into the Luton game a couple of days later, and then you're flying again going towards the back end. You've got confidence, your tail's up, you're doing well. And if you look at the next couple of games for Burnley and for Sheffield United as well, they're not straightforward. I think Burnley have Bristol City at the weekend, who've taken points off Leeds and Sheffield United this season. Sheffield United have Coventry City. That's not going to be an easy game either. Sheffield United are at home, but they drop points to Bristol City at home. So they can do that. So it's an interesting weekend. Leeds get a good result against Swansea. The other two teams have got droppable point games.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I was really impressed with Bristol City away at Sheffield United. I thought Bristol City did look a good team, and obviously Coventry, like you said, the only game they've dropped points in is in their last 7 is against Leeds. So yeah, I think the international breakers came at a perfect time for Leeds, and I was sort of similar with you at the end of that QPR game. I know a lot of fans, creators were annoyed with that result. I personally thought it was a good comeback, and like you said, we wouldn't have probably seen that last year, which was good. So the 8 games, I know this is a bit of like just to chuck it at you. We've got 4 away, 4 at home. How many points do you think Leeds United can get in them?
With the maths on this.
Let's go through them. Let's go through and we can have a little chat about them. So have you got the fixtures in front of you?
I do, yeah. The way I've looked at this is 4 home games, win all 4 of them.
Okay, fair enough.
That will give you 12 points. Adding to what we've got right now, put you on 92, which is 2 more than last season. You got 4 away games. If you pick up a point in each of them, that'll leave you on 96 points, which again should be enough to get you promoted, but might not be. If you win 1 of those and draw 3 of them, you finish on 98 points, and that should be enough to get you promoted.
Well, you'd like to think, wouldn't you?
You would hope so, yeah. So if you look at it, Swansea at home, you've got to win your home games. So home win. I think I've gone in our predictions league. I think I've gone 2-0 to Leeds. Luton away, they've not been great this season. They're probably going to get relegated, but you just don't know what it's going to be like down there. It's a big game. They have a siege mentality right now. It's tight ground. It's aggressive ground. So you never know. So point there. Middlesbrough away, happily take a point. Take a point 100%. Away to Middlesbrough. Then you got Preston at home, win that game. Oxford away, I think that's the one you look to win away, is Oxford. I have a horrible feeling about Oxford. I don't know why, but it's in my head and I can't get it out of my head. But yeah, Oxford away, win that game. Yeah. Stoke at home, you have to win. So go for a win. Bristol City at home, again, that's going to be a big one because it's the final home game of the season. I'm hoping to be at that game as well. So that's going to be an nail-biter. But let's assume we win that one as well. Then you've got Plymouth away. You don't have to necessarily win a point. Could be enough going down the road. So that's the way I'm looking at it. But again, someone will tell me in the comments that I'm being too confident and I'm presuming an awful lot. This is what I hope. This is what I hope. I think if Leeds are going to drop points, I think Oxford, Middlesbrough, Luton.
I think the way our season's gone and how we are top of the table with a bit of confidence, I don't think that's the end of the world. Like you said, you win your 4 home games, which we've done a lot this season. If you get a point away at these places, that's okay. And also, Burnley and Sheffield United still have to play each other. Like you said, even this weekend, they've got Coventry and Bristol City and things like that. So there's still a lot of twists and turns. Quickly, before I let you go, give me kind of your top 6. If you don't know all 6, give me at least your top 3. Are Leeds getting automatics, Joe? We need to know.
I think so, yeah. I think Leeds win the league.
Yeah, okay.
I've been saying all year, I don't really care. I've topped most of the season, maybe second, but I don't know. I'm going to be put my neck on the line and say, I hope, I think we win it. I think Burnley gets second.
Wow. Okay.
I just think they've got a lot of momentum and they've finally discovered how to score goals. Yeah. And they're still not conceding. I mean, it's mad. 8 games left and they've conceded 11 goals all season.
It's disgusting, isn't it?
11 goals in 38 games. Like, Jesus.
It's crazy.
You know, it may as well be a 0 at that volume. It's tiny percentages. So, like, yeah, it's huge. I think Sheffield United 3rd, 4th, Sunderland 5th, Coventry 6th. I think Bristol City will nick it and get 6th place from West Brom because I think Bristol City are playing nice football at the moment and are getting decent results. And if you look at their run of form, they've only similar enough to West Brom, but they've got an extra win in there in the last 5. They've 3 wins and 2 draws in the last 5, where West Brom have 3 draws and 2 wins. So those draws might catch up on West Brom by the end of the season.
I mean, that was exactly my one as well. I was going to go first Leeds, but I was actually going to say Sheffield United second. But I kind of like your Burnley argument. I think it massively depends on that game between Burnley and Sheffield United. That's going to be an absolutely huge game, and I'm happy we're a neutral in that game. We can sit and watch that. Who knows what's going to happen? But yeah, I think. Yeah, exactly. I think Leeds going to win the league. I do. I'm going to say Sheffield United, Burnley, Sunderland, and I'm going to actually go Bristol City, Coventry. I like Bristol City that much. I think it's a bit of a gap to climb, but also I'm quite impressed with them. I don't know why. I've watched them for about 45 minutes this season, but either way, I like them. Jer, thank you so much for joining me today. That was our kind of final sort of predictions. In a few games' time, this could change. This all could change. So,
Age like cheese, this will.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you for joining me. If you want to see more videos with Jer, be sure to smash that like button. Subscribe if you're new. Go over to Jer's channel and subscribe to him as well. I've been Ollie Ward, and I'll catch you in the next video. Cheery. Oh.